Hello everyone and welcome to the second video of ERPNext implementation series for pharma industry. And in this particular video we are going to learn how to create a BOM of any medicine or any product for particularly pharma industry. So as you know, BOM stands for bill of materials, right? So what is bill of material? Bill of material is a document or it is a kind of formulation which we create for our every product, in which we define that what amount of raw materials are required to manufacture one unit of that particular product, right? So for example, if I talk about paracetamol, so paracetamol is a medicine, and if I want to create one tablet or one piece of paracetamol, what all raw materials is required inside that particular creation, and what amount it is required, right? So that is what we will be discussing in this particular video. So in the last video I started by creating a particularly an item which we already did, and now in this video we are going to create BOM or bill of material for that particular product which is known as paracetamol, right? So to get started, what I have is I already have added or selected the item over here, right? If I can reload it for you. So if I have paracetamol as an item already created in my system, what I'll do is I'll select it once, right? After selecting it, what I'll do is I'll start creating the raw materials which are required for this manufacturing to happen, right? To start with that, we have this raw material table over here which you can see on my screen. So over here what I'll have to do is I have to add one by one items which are required or the raw materials which are required for that particular manufacturing. So I'll create a new item. What I'll do is I'll write RM110 as my raw material 110. Item group would be, in this case, raw material, right? And HSN code would be medicine. Okay, this is our HSN code, and what I'll do is I'll just save it. Okay, now for example, RM110, right? What is the name of this raw material, right? So the name of raw material we can define over here. The name of the raw material is paracetamol API, or you can say active ingredients in our case, right? I'll save this, right? What I'll do is I'll come again to the BOM, right? I'll see that there is an option to add a rate. Okay, so over here what I'll do is I can add a rate in which this particular product is mostly bought, right? But I have to write the unit of measurement of this particular product. So unit of measurement for this is grams, right? So I'll write grams, and the quantity would be 0.5 gram. Okay, now what I can do is I can write the rate, or you can skip it also, if it depends on you, right? After that what I'll do is I'll create another raw material, and in this particular raw material what I'll do is I'll create it, edit the full form, and the item code could be RM-111. Item name would be maize starch, right? So maize starch is also required to create paracetamol, and the group of this particular raw material would be raw material, right? And the HSN code would be, again I'll just select medicine, or what I can do is I can search for maize starch also. If it is there in my list I can use that, right? It is not in my list, so for time being I'll do medicine. Okay, I'll use this. Quantity or unit of measurement would also be again gram, so I'll choose gram. Okay, I'll save this, right? Sometimes what happens is that you need in pharma industry that your raw material should also be get tracked, right? Your raw material should also be tracked via, what we can say, via batches, right? So that is also possible. So to create any item, what you have is inside inventory, you can say that this particular product also require or has a batch number, right? So if I save it, what it will do is whenever you will add this particular raw material, it will ask you to add a batch number also, right? So first of all, we are just focusing on creating BOMs, rather than in the next video we'll do creation of batches, right? So this particular thing is done. I have just told you that you can create batches for raw materials also. I'll come back again, right? And for this particular thing we just need 0.2 grams of raw material. And for time being, let's add a dummy rate also. So for example, right now the rates are not editable over here, so maybe what we'll do is at this particular point also you can on this detail page, what you can do is you can add valuation rate also. So valuation rate could be 12 rupees for time being, right? I'll save this. Okay, I'll go back, right? For this particular product also I'll add a valuation rate. So valuation rate could be something like 0.5 rupees per gram. Okay, I'll save this also, right? Come back again, right? Add another row of raw material, right? I'll add another raw material, which is in our case we'll need some binders. So I'll create a code for binder and the name would be providon, right? Raw material it is, right? HSN code is again medicine, right? And this is also calculated inside gram, right? So this is also gram, right? And valuation rate could be for binder, it is around 1.5 rupees per gram. Okay, I'll save this and come back to the portal, right? Providon, I'll select, and the quantity of providon required to be used is 0.1 grams. Okay, so I'll just write 0.1 grams. Okay, I'll add one more row. For example, I need talc glidants also, so I'll create one more raw material, talc glidants. This could be my raw material 113 and talc glidant, right? Item group could be raw material, right? HSN code could be medicine. Okay, and this is also calculated in grams, so I'll choose gram as unit of measurement, and valuation rate would be again I think 0.8 rupees per gram, right? I'll save this, go back to my BOM, right? Talc glidant is already added, and to manufacture one paracetamol I need 0.05 grams. So all these are not real values, so don't quote me if they are wrong, right? So I'm just writing some rough entries so that I can show you everything what is there in the system, right? And finally I'll sum it up with magnesium stearate as the last raw material. So I'll create a new item, RM-114 magnesium stearate, and the item group would be raw material again, and HSN code would be medicine, right? This is human medicine, and the rate could be 2 rupees per gram. Okay, so I'll save this, go back to my BOM. This is my complete BOM, right? So now you can understand that to manufacture one quantity of this medicine paracetamol we need these four raw materials, right, which could be a paracetamol API, then maize starch, then providon, and then talc glidant, and then magnesium stearate, right? So all these things are included in the BOM, right? Once I'll save this, right, so it is saying that quantity cannot be a fraction. To allow this must be a whole number in unit of measurement numbers, right? So over here by mistake I think this should also be gram only, so I'll edit this, right? I'll edit this and change the unit of measurement as gram, right? Not grain, it is gram. I'll save this. Okay. Gram. And what is the quantity which is required in gram for magnesium stearate is 0.02 grams. 0.02 grams. Okay. Now 0.5 cannot be a fraction value. Must be a whole number in numbers, right? I'll check what is the unit of measurement. It is grams, and this is also done. Okay, for time being I'll just make it. Okay, I'll check this also. Over here we have written unit of measurement. Okay, so over here it is coming in numbers, that is why it is not letting me. So the checks are already done in the system, so if you make any entry wrong, it will not let you go ahead, which is the case with pharma industry. They need everything to be very diligent, right? So over here we'll again change the API and we'll update the unit of measurement also in gram. So again we'll try to save this particular BOM and save this, right? So now this particular BOM is being saved as a draft, right? Once you are sure that this particular thing is ready and it could be available for use, so what you have to do is you have to just submit it, and this will become our final draft in which we have created a formulation wherein we have defined everything over here, right? And this is our unit of measurement and everything which has come, and this has become our formulation for everything. So to create one quantity of this particular product, we need all this formulation to happen. Now let's suppose you want to generate or you want to produce 1 lakh quantity of this particular medicine, right? What you have to do is you have to create it on work order, and if I write 10,000 1 lakh, right, and as soon as I'll create it, you will see that all the required quantity has already been calculated by our BOM, right? So paracetamol API has come, the maize starch has come, providon has come, tall glidant has come, and magnesium stearate has also come. So this is how the system reacts, this is how the system works when we create a BOM. So BOM is a very helpful tool for creating and manufacturing multiple number of medicines to create a formulation, and then whenever we want to produce it, we can produce it. Also there are other few things inside BOM, so you can create different versions of BOM. For example, you are buying certain raw material from one maybe supplier, and that point of time the supplier was not ready with us, so you can create a new version of this particular BOM. So what it will make is it will keep all the entries as it is as before, and whatever changes you want to do, you can do it. So if I click on new version, you can see that this thing has become editable. Whatever thing I want to remove, I can remove it, and then I can reuse it again, right? So this was my complete tutorial on how to create a BOM for a pharma industry using ERPNext. And if you are looking for any kind of implementation for your pharma company, please do contact us. In the description we have mentioned all our contact details. You can follow us, you can reach out to me, and we can get on a call and discuss the requirements. Thank you so much.